Hark, hark, where could we be? Hark, hark, we're in Hyde Park. Hark, hark, did you hear a bark? Where are the dogs? They're in Hyde Park. We are now in a house in Hyde Park. It's gonna be an interesting day because I don't know where anything is because we just moved in. So today we are going to make a light summer supper or soume soupe. We're going to have a very delicious corn chowder, light, yummy, super easy. All you need is a blender and a pan and some corn and some other ingredients. And we're going to make a very delicious salad with fava beans. How does he make that sound? What's the sound? Fava beans. Don't be scared of fava beans, guys. They're really, really good. Then we're gonna have banana pudding. Banana pudding. Banana pudding. What the hell is banana pudding? Well, it's really vanilla pudding that they tell you is banana pudding. You can buy false banana pudding and just not do any of this, but it's flavored with false banana flavor, which you don't want. Basically, you're going to make a very beautiful vanilla pudding with a secret ingredient. Now, what is pudding exactly? We could make just a big custard and just cook it until it was past creme anglaise and was a custard, but it wouldn't set quite as well. So the secret ingredient is cornstarch. In England, referred to as corn flour. Don't be confused if you're English. Use corn flour. If you're American, use cornstarch. And the big trick, which I'm gonna show you as we do this, is the milk must be simmering. If it is not simmering, it will not make pudding. They want you to use half and half, 3 cups of half and half. We don't have half and half. What's half and half? Half cream, half milk. So we're gonna make our own half and half. I'm doing 1.5 cups of cream. And 1.5 cups of milk. So we just made half and half. I'm sure you guys know that's what half and half is. Now I'm gonna heat this. Now don't be nervous about this, okay? Because it must be hot or this is not gonna work. And you're gonna be nervous about it because hot milk tends to boil over. So we're using Classy Kitchen's recipe. It's actually flawless. 5 egg yolks. 1. 2. So this property is part of, or was many years ago, part of the Vanderbilt Mansion, which is across the highway from where we are right now. And this used to be the farm, not this house, this is a 60s house, 1960s. The rest of the property used to be their farm. And they were totally self-sufficient to the point where they would send groceries to the other Vanderbilts. Okay, I'm just gonna quickly homogenize those. I'm gonna disappear because I have to go over here because apparently it's where the sugar is. Okay, now fans of DPT, I made a magic of television one because it has to set, which means we have about 400 gallons of banana pudding at the end of the day today, but it's gonna be fun because apparently Shahar's daughter or son, both love banana pudding. And we're gonna have quite a bit. 1/4 cup. Oh yeah. Now, this is developing a skin, which is not good. It got sort of hot. Oh, it's good. I am going to put some salt in here. Color me crazy, but it's really good. Okay. It's very, very hot. The other exciting thing about today, which we didn't know last night, is that during the day, you can't see the flame. I can't tell how hot the flame is, which is hilarious. It's sort of a major part of cooking. All right, what do we need? I'll tell you what we need. We need to mix this up good. This is my new apron color. Trisha from the amazing Rough Linen started this beautiful color, Fog, I think it's called. Happens to be my favorite color, gray. Hey la la, hey la la, hey la la. Thank God I say hey la la correctly today. Hey la la. As you know, I never measure this. You're making vanilla pudding, okay? Make it vanilla-y. Ooh, so what does this resemble? It's like making custard. Now you're not scared of custard because you're a DPTer. This has to be lower, I think. You're just not afraid of anything for that reason. I'm gonna amp this up a little bit by using vanilla seeds. All right, here we go. Now, what are we gonna do now, Randy? You ask. We're gonna go out for a drink. What are we gonna do now? We're gonna mix this in very slowly. So what I'm gonna do is this is hot. So I'm going to teach the eggs a little bit about this milk. It ain't light, that's all I can say. Oh, mix it in, mix it in. Oh, that was too much. So what am I trying to avoid doing? I'm trying to avoid making a huge bowl of vanilla-scented scrambled eggs, right? I call it teaching, but the real word is tempering, which means bringing the eggs, it's an old-fashioned word, to the temper of the hot milk. I'm happy with that. I'm about to scoop this all into the bowl. It's very nice, I like that. Okay, here we go. Into the bowl it goes. Now you gotta stir this, and I need a spatula. Can somebody from off camera get me one? Oh yeah. You know, we're learning it may not be the best kitchen in the world to shoot in, but what can you do? Okay. Now, your friends are over there looking up vacations. And you're gonna do this for a long time. Lynn was doing a work call, and David and Regina were looking up vacations. Just saying. I'm stirring this, and a miraculous thing is gonna happen. It's gonna turn into pudding. Now, it still has to set up overnight, but you could eat it if you wanted tonight, okay? They want you to put butter in it, which is 100% totally unnecessary. So you see that? It's starting to go. Oh, what vacation are you guys talking about? Sounds like fun. Lynn, how's your work call going? See that? It's a miracle, miracle on the stove. We didn't think that it would ever go. Custard. Custard, look at that. I guarantee you, you did not think it was gonna do that. You did not think it was gonna do that. Look at that, Shahar, look! Look!
The pudding.
Now, could you make vanilla pudding and assemble this? The assembly is beautiful. Yes, you don't have to make this. Is this really harder than making pudding from a package? Is it? Is it really harder? Guarantee you it's better. So you want to take this until it's pretty stiff. Almost where you want the pudding, but remember, this is nuclear. It's gonna set overnight. So it's almost letting you leave a track. This is ready. Now, time for the secret ingredient. I'm gonna take a big risk and leave it here while I get the secret ingredient. This is Giffard banana liqueur. I'm not gonna lie to you, it's not cheap. Okay, take this off the heat. And now we're gonna play a little bit. This is so hot, any liquor that's in here is gonna evaporate in 1 second. This is expensive. You will use it pretty much only when you make banana pudding and when you make like pina coladas, it's quite good. And there's actually drinks that have this. So it might be fun to buy it. They have 3. This is the really good one, but they have one that's less expensive. They're all great. Now, look how careful I am. No. It's so sweet, you don't have to worry about it breaking the custard because it's got such a high sugar. Look at that custard. Look at that. That's pudding. I'm gonna see if it needs more banana flavors. Look at that. It's not even cold yet. Wow, that is good. Needs a little more banana liqueur. I mean, what drinks have this? I forget. I remember looking it up. Do not buy banana extract, guys. Just don't use that. And be very careful with less common extracts. Be careful with things like raspberry extract, banana extract, coconut extract. They're usually false. International Flavors and Fragrances, a deeply fascinating company whose name is listed on no products, yet they are in probably 90%, 80% of packaged products. Here we go. See how it's leaving a full line. I'm gonna put a little more. It's totally already not alcoholic. Oh, now we're going to put this into an attractive bowl. They say to put it in a heat-safe bowl. However, you don't have to. I'm gonna put it in the bowl that we're gonna serve it in. We're gonna use Heath ceramics. Listen, these are the kind of thing that when we did table settings, we said, wait until you can get 4 nice ones. Don't buy 4 fake nice ones. Your 4 nice ones, even though they're quite rustic, Heath you can give it to your grandchildren's grandchildren. And they have a very long history of supporting American artisans to the extreme and Japanese artists, and they're just an amazing company. Everything they make is really beautiful. Here we go. Look how puddingy it already is. And it's only been resting for a few seconds. Look at that. That's pudding. It's against common sense and instinct to cover this and put it in the fridge because it's hot, okay? However, it will form a skin if you do not do so. I'm going to cover this. If you use press and seal, don't use the sticky side down. If you use, you can use tin foil if you want, but you want the thing touching the pudding. It sounds naughty, but it isn't. So I'm just gonna go somewhere in the house and find the saran wrap. Come on, don't give me a hard time. Don't use the sticky side. Turn it this way. I'm gently pressing the press and seal all the way around, not indenting it with my fingers, making it nice and smooth, right? Turn. Don't worry about these bubbles. Oh. Put this in your fridge. It's big. It's a drag in the fridge, but put it in the fridge. Now, overnight or until it's cold. You could also, we discovered, it's quite good hot. Right, Shahar?
It's amazing.
Okay, I'm gonna put this in the fridge, which I think is in this direction. Here's our magic of television one. When I was a child, I was obsessed with Nilla wafers. Now you can make these, they're essentially a slightly souffled sugar cookie. I was obsessed with them deeply because they seemed to me to be sort of the essence of a cookie. Like if you put a cookie on Voyager 1, it would be a Nilla wafer. Am I wrong? Okay. Now, they want you to make this in a big bowl, but I think it's much chicer in these little things, individual desserts, okay? So what we're gonna do is I'm gonna assemble one, but I'm gonna warn you about a couple things. Bananas turn brown. So you either have to assemble this and serve it, or you have to paint it with lemon and all this nonsense. I'm gonna paint it just so you can see it. But basically the layers are Nilla wafer, pudding, banana, you run out of space quick, pudding. And then you can put whipped cream if you want. Here we go. That's David in the background, swanning around with the architect because we're putting some outbuildings in. We're doing something called the Physical Plant Upgrade Initiative, the PPUI. They want you to assemble this and then re-put it in the fridge so that the Nilla wafers soften into cake, which makes it kind of like a trifle. I'm crumbling them because it's cute. Okay, pudding. Oh, look at that consistency, pretty puddingy. Oh yeah. These are our banana layer. I'm gonna just push it into the pudding because I think the pudding will also protect the banana. Nilla wafer crumbles, that's what we're gonna do. Nilla wafer crumbles, good for me and you. Nilla wafer. Nilla wafer crumble, Nilla wafer. Nilla wafer crumble, Nilla wafer. Nilla wafer crumble, Nilla wafer, Nilla wafer, Nilla wafer crumble. That's a useless song. You'll never sing that again in your life. All right, I love the way that looks. How cute is that, right? Oh yeah, it's a yummy treat. Oh yeah, it can't be beat. Ba-da-da-dum. Look how cute is that? It's like a layered dessert in a cup. I'm sort of gonna tap it lightly to settle the layers. I mean, give me a break. It's a beauty. The other thing you can do with this, I personally, because it's quite simple, I would take a piping bag because it's really easy and it looks fancy. Put some whipped cream in the piping bag and just pipe 3 little rosettes on it or something like that, you know. However, you could also take your fresh banana right before service and do like, you know, you could make a little design. But basically, that is pretty perfect dessert, in my opinion. I'm wiping the side so it's got a clean appearance. And I'm gonna put this I would put in right before service, but I would put this in the fridge to sort of soften the cookies. Banana pudding. Summertime, 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 banana pudding. Let's make some corn chowder. rainy, thundery day. Howl, howl, howl. Why should a dog, a horse, a rat have life, and thou no breath at all? Thou wilt come no more. Count them. Never, 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 never. In those 5 words are the great genius of Shakespeare. We're gonna make corn chowder on a rainy day, sort of like King Lear, even though I don't know how much corn chowder he would have eaten. So the first thing I'm doing is making these rather nice little cubes of potato. They're very nice, cubish, cubey kind of potato, that sort of things. So what I do is I take a circle like this, and thank God I'm not working in a French restaurant, because they would fire me. And I'm trimming it into a square. This is how you make a brunoise. However, these would be saved for stock. We're not doing that. Make a square, cut the square in half, and then cut rectangles like that. You can triple this, quadruple it, sextuple it, sextuple it, whatever you want. We're making a small amount. So here we go. Don't use green. Maybe one more cut. Okay, these will cook for about 3 minutes. And basically, this is the water that I dunked these, as you know from other shows. You boil the water, you put in the corn, and you turn the water off. 2 minutes later, your corn is ready. Do not boil corn for minutes at a time. It'll turn into mush. So you can also put a little milk in here. But guess what this is? It's kind of our stock. Okay? So I'm now cutting the kernels off. Like this. With my Parusi, of course. All right, this is cooked. So this is part garnish and part gonna be made into the soup part, which is basically corn. We're gonna blitz some of it, we're gonna garnish with some of it, etc. Hot pan, olive oil. That's right. These are hex-clad, these are great pans. Do they get a little marks on them? Yeah, they do. So what? Good things are meant to be used. A little hot pan olive oil action. We moved this over, so I'm just gonna reboil it. Looks kind of like stock to me. I took one of the corn cobs and I put it in the stock to kind of stock it up a little bit. Okay, I'm gonna boil this for a real short amount of time. And I'm going to use my little pig timer. Hey, little piggy. ¿Cómo estás? We win. Okay, here we go. Under 5 minutes, I think. Ploppity ploop, plippity plop, plip plop ploop. We discovered that the etymology, where the word comes from, of chowder is obscure. It comes from an old word for cauldron, because you throw everything in, hence chowder. So we're just making something delicious that's a soup. Trust your instincts. I'm putting a little salt here, don't ask me why. Because I don't know. Ooh, it smells chowdery. I cooked them in stock. You can also use chicken stock, vegetable stock, but why not use the water that you cooked the corn in? That's corn stock. 1 minute more. For the... Scared me. And I'm putting these on the corner of our little plate. Come on, little errant potatoes. These look great. I did a nice job. Good job, Randy. Thanks. Give yourself a little love. Look in the mirror. Say, you're doing okay, man. You're doing okay. You know what? You're doing the best you can do. Say that to yourself every now and again. I'm gonna put a little tiny bit of frozen corn, which is defrosted, in the bottom of here. All right, I'm gonna put a little bit of our stock in there. This should be interesting. Awesome. I'm gonna blitz it. Sort of making a base, okay? Ooh, that's good. I'm gonna put some of this corn in, and I'm gonna retain some corn, which is cooked, for garnish, okay? Here we go. So good. The recipe is very simple, so I'm just kind of following it, but not really. So these are just sauteed onions. And if we need any liquid, we're gonna now use milk or cream. A little bit of cream. Now we're luxuriating. Oh, it's good. Okay, I'm gonna blitz this. You could also serve this as a shooter if you pureed this and put some, oh man, that would be so good. With a little like chopped chives on top or something. Ooh, so good. It's really good. I'm gonna put a tiny bit more water. I'm winging this, right? I know what I want it to taste like, right? Okay. Then I'm gonna put this in a pot and I'm gonna simmer it with the corn. I'm gonna retain a few kernels for just the very top, and I'm gonna put the potatoes back in. I might slice a few tomatoes to put on, tiny, tiny tomato pieces to put on top. But other than that, you just make corn chowder. First of all, I'm gonna taste it. Always taste it. Never serve it if you didn't taste it. This is divine, in my opinion. I'm gonna put this on low, even though we have no idea what the temperature is because we can't see it. Crack a little pepper. Put the potatoes in. I'm inclined to say maybe explore this as a shooter. It could be really good. I'm gonna put this in, most of this in, but I'm gonna garnish the top with very yellow corn. So that's corn going in. So like that's a dinner party tonight thing, right? Like, what's corn chowder? It's thick, right? Maybe it has cream in it. Corn, bits of corn. You know what happens if you don't like it? You take it like this and you throw it in the garbage and you try it again. Okay. Corn chowder, choudre, cauldron. You know, it's just a warm, lovely soup, even for a sort of rainy, stormy, weather, temperature changing summer day. And of course, if you really pureed it, you could serve it as a shooter. But we're gonna serve it as a beautiful hot soup, but in a very beautiful pale green Heath ceramics appetizer cup, essentially. Okay. This is what the soup looks like. It's like, I'll show you. It's like pretty thick. It has all these succulent little bits of potato and corn and yumminess. And we have, for the garnish, when we pour it, some basil, which we're gonna use the teeny tiny leaves there, and some beautiful oregano, or as they actually do say in England, oregano, which is really beautiful. Look at that. Oh, it smells like heaven on earth. Okay, let's ladle up the soup. It sure is good. I would eat that in a restaurant. I mean, I would happily eat that. I'm gonna go on into the bottom here to get the good stuff. This should be interesting. I'm not very good at things like this. I'm gonna have to clean up the sides. Oh, look at that. Potatoes and corn, it's so yummy. Potatoes and corn, it's so good. Potatoes and corn and yummy flavors. May I have a piece of paper towel, please? Oh, there, I didn't see it. I would have done it myself. Thank you. Professional grade. You can do this. Listen, you're bored, you have the mixer, you got some frozen corn or fresh corn. Wing it. Try to make a soup. What's pea soup? What's broccoli soup? Instantly, it's broccoli and water. But have fun. When I was a kid, I used to make things in the kitchen, like crazy things with my sister, like mixing really insane things and baking it and, using the mixer and everything, just like whatever, like chicken stock, flour, chocolate, chips, like stuff like that. We got in big trouble. But the coolest thing we ever did, even though we got basically grounded for the whole summer, when you used to sell stuff on the street, like when you're a kid, and you're like, oh, I'm gonna sell like jewelry made out of old telephone line wires. Do you remember telephone line wires? They were colored, but anyway. We had a really brilliant idea, which was if we sold like my mother's stuff, we would get a lot more money. So we went up to, I have to be honest, it was my sister's idea. We went up to my mother's room, my mother was chic, okay? And we took all this like cool costume jewelry and like caftans and bathing suits and hats and stuff and took them out in the street. And we're like selling like hotcakes out there. And there's my mother coming across the lawn, oh, like this. Can you imagine? You'd be like, what is the matter with you? You cannot take my things and sell them. What is the matter with you? What is wrong with your brain? Which I think is pretty much what she said. Anyway, we had to give the money back. I'm now going to garnish with a little few pieces of cooked corn, which is quite lovely, okay? I don't know why I never made this before. That's the funny thing about dinner party tonight. Like Lynn and I struggle to think of awesome things to make for you guys. Sometimes we think of things, sometimes it's way to take a minute to think of it. And then I'm like making these things and I'm like, why have I not made this in real life? Okay, I'm taking the teeniest little leaf and I'm dropping it on the soup. And I'm taking the tiniest oregano leaf, comme ça, and I'm dropping it la. Corn chowder, ladies and gentlemen. Fava bean salad. Salad. So this is a very delicious composed salad. Anybody can make this. What makes it interesting is the seasonality of these beautiful little gems called fava beans. For some reason, I can't do that. Fava beans, also known as broad beans or lima beans. The problem with them is that many people don't know what to do with them because they look like this, which is a little daunting. This is what you do with it. Take this thing, you're gonna turn it, and you're gonna pull the string, almost like a zipper, down the side. Then you're gonna pry it open, and you're gonna pop out the beans. Now, kids hate lima beans, and I'm gonna tell you why, especially kids born in the 60s, I mean. Because I swear that Bird's Eye used to freeze them in this white shell. And I'm gonna show you why that's bad by biting one, okay? So this is what a lima bean used to look like in a can, or I swear. But people my age out there, 60, born in 63, do you remember that the Bird's Eye came like this, came white? Well, the big surprise is inside that white, gross shell is a delectable green bean that's soft and delicious. This is like eating corn husks or something. But I swear to God, it was on there when I was a kid. I just have some boiling water, the sound you hear. I just took it off. You're going to blanch these for 30 seconds, and I mean 30 seconds, okay? So I have these wonderful old cooking books, right? And one of my favorite chapters in all these books are food for invalids, right? And if you think about what they serve these poor people who are in the hospital, it's amazing anybody gets better, right? So this would be a really beautiful thing to make for somebody who's not feeling great, okay? Or who's just starting to get better, because it's full of life and vibrancy and bright, bright colors. Fava beans, however, have an extremely short season. Most likely, by the time you see this, they won't be available. You can use peas. You can use long beans, like green beans. You could use corn. You could use anything you want. It's just a beautiful composed salad on a piece of buttered toasted bread, to which you can add a fried egg or whatever you like. You'll see, it's really good. Now we're gonna, as I told you, we're gonna blanch these for literally 30 seconds. So, you know, it's a labor of love. What are the 3 rules when you're visiting somebody in the hospital or somebody who doesn't feel well? You want me to tell you the 3 rules? Look good, smell good, and make physical contact. You want to know the 4th rule? It's the most important rule of all. Let them be negative. So, look good, smell good, make physical contact, and let them be negative. Trust me, it's good advice. Even if you're sad, the last thing they want to see is you walking in there like disheveled and not smelling good. They're bored. They want to see the outside world. And also, people don't touch super sick people. Touch them. They're just sick. Look at this, how beautiful these are. Look at that.
Thank you.
Gorgeous. They have a little hat. Ooh, look at his jaunty little hat. It's like Pinocchio. Ah. Color me crazy, people born in the 50s or 60s. Am I right or am I crazy? They were gross. There's no way it was the inner little tender bean. It looked like that. I remember them because I was not a picky eater at all. And those are one of the few things where I was like, dude, this is not good. So after all that, is it that many beans? So when you buy them, buy a lot. I have to say, these were from Fresh Direct and they're pretty nice. I mean, they have great produce, but this is a iffy thing. The second I put these in the water, which is going to be rapidly boiling, I'm going to fill this with ice, okay? And then it'll be 30 seconds. And then I'm going to drain them and put them on ice. You don't want them to overcook. Trust me, darling, you don't want them to overcook. All right, so here's my phone. I have it on downtime. Okay, timer. It's going to be fast to get the ice, okay? "17 seconds to go." And straight on the ice.
Kirk Enterprise, come in. Kirk to Enterprise.
That's my timer. Okay, I'm stopping them from cooking. So basically, I'm just making sure that they are not cooking anymore. Then you go like this. I'm just going to show you one. And you kind of pop it out. See how beautiful that is? It's like an emerald, a precious emerald. Al dente, perfection. Oh, it's so good. God. Ooh. Okay, just gonna let these cool. Then we're gonna shell them into a bowl. And then I'm gonna show you how to make the chicest, quickest salad you ever made in your life. We have some bread. This isn't exactly the right bread. What you want is that like sort of oval-shaped peasant bread, what I like to call messy bread because it makes a huge mess when you cut it. This is a little dense, but we're just gonna toast it up. It's gonna be fine. Will it burn this thing, you ask? Not yet, so we'll see. While that's toasting, we're gonna return to our fava beans. Now, what are we doing? We're doing basically an herb, which is mint and basil, which are very closely related, okay? Salad with fava beans on toast with ricotta. Ricotta in a container? Why didn't you make it? Well, because I'm going to visit my sick friend, let's say, and bring them some corn chowder and banana pudding, and I didn't have time to make it. But I'm still gonna make a beautiful, beautiful thing for them, okay? So here we go. I'm gonna dress this, and in the course of dressing it, I'm going to create the salad dressing also. A little bit of lemon. I'm putting a little salt. Okay, it's my dog walking around. Little pep in your step. Little olive oil, little vinegar. Not too much, not too little. Okay, now I'm just gonna toss this around a little bit. I'm just taking pieces of, in this case, basil, right? And a couple of, like this. When you bite into this, it gives you this taste of life, kind of. Like it's a really beautiful flavor. And I'm just kind of mixing that in. It's gonna go toast, ricotta, salad, beans. Toast. Okay? Store-bought ricotta, don't worry about it. I would say 2 dollops per piece. Comme ça. I'm gonna put a little more on the first one. A little bit of pepper. Now imagine you're sitting somewhere. Maybe you're just recovering from feeling crappy emotionally. Wouldn't you want this? I would. A little bit of salt. I mean, I say you can make it for somebody who's not feeling great, but you can make it for anybody, including yourself. Okay, I'm not worrying about the plate because I want the plate to sort of comment on the food. This is washed. We take this salad like this, place it on the ricotta. Oh boy. Oh boy. It looks fantastically great, something I would totally eat. Now, in the bottom of this has formed salad dressing. Can you see that liquid? That's salad dressing. So I'm gonna go like this, and I'm gonna kind of give a quick dressing to the salad also before I cascade it with dressed fava beans. This is something anybody can do. Now, how do you eat it? You have to kind of just pick it up and eat it. Or you can have a fork and you can pick it up and eat it and then fork the remainder and down your neck. I'm just gonna wipe this down from the oil that got on it. I wish I didn't eat lunch because I would totally eat this beautiful salad. I'm gonna crack a little pepper on top. It's amazing. All right, it doesn't need any salt. And maybe if I have some teeny little leaves, which I do, I'll go like this. Teeny little leaves, like the center of the plant you bought. Look at that. Thank you so much for joining us for our simple summer supper, our sumsa. We made a delicious and amazing corn chowder. We had an incredible fava bean salad with ricotta on toast. Yum, simple dressing, fresh herbs, lemon. For dessert, we had banana pudding, or banpa, as I like to call it, with Nilla wafers. Maude, I love you so much. You're so sweet. Your feet are cold, honey. Scooting out in the rain, right? Yeah, the food's all gone. No point in looking for it. We want to say thank you guys so much, always, for watching our show, for commenting on our show, for suggesting things, for telling me when I'm wrong, for helping me learn, and just for being the greatest fans on planet Earth. If you see me, say hello, okay? I want to meet you. So don't hesitate. If you see the dogs, kick them. No, I mean, be nice. But we want to thank you guys so much for watching. There's a lot more on the way. We're traveling a lot. And thank you for watching Dinner Party tonight. Right, Maude? She's sleeping. Did you hear a bark in Hyde Park? Did you hear a bark in Hyde Park? Did you hear a bark in Hyde Park? Did you hear a bark in Hyde Park?